There are two interesting school of thought when it comes to using fishing line. Some people prefer to use monofilament fishing line because it's a larger diameter and it stretches. And if you have it on your reel, like a bait caster, and you go to set the hook, there's less of a chance of the line going down into the layers below because it's a thicker line. Other people, like myself, prefer the low diameter of a braided line, and I try to reel it on really tight on my reel so that even when I set the hook really hard on a big fish, it won't go down onto the other layers. Okay, now two very important things when you're using braided line down here on Lake El Salto for largemouth bass, but even back home for a variety of fish. If you're going to be fishing with a soft plastic bait, what I've got here is a classic swim bait, just big. This one is an 8-inch, and you can see that I've got an 8/0 hook. This is a worm hook, and it's rigged up so that the hook is right parallel with the top of the swim bait. You can see that. Now, because I'm using a swim bait and because there's no treble hooks, what I've done is tie my braided line directly to the eye of the hook. Okay? Now, the reason I've done that is because when I toss this out, there's no way, even if this flips over itself, for any exposed hook to catch the line. And the line is very strong. And here at El Salto, the visibility is about 1 foot in the water. So you don't have to worry about using a fluorocarbon leader because the fish are going to be seeing the line. Now, when it comes to using a lure with multiple trebles, for example, today both Barb and I caught lots of fish on the Rapala skitter pop, and it has 2 treble hooks, and it's actually a very light lure. It's made out of balsa wood. And a lot of times if you cast crosswind or into the wind, there's a chance of it flipping over itself, or at least planing, not always going rear end first. So that's when I add a piece of fluorocarbon. This particular one is about 2 feet long, and there's a blood knot connecting it to the braid. So I'm not using the fluorocarbon here because I need it because of the clear water. I'm using it because it's stiff, so that if the lure flips over itself, it's less likely to catch the fluorocarbon leader. So whether you're using a slash bait like the X-Rap, Husky Jerk, or any lure, even a crankbait with 2 trebles, I would encourage you to use 20 or 30 pound fluorocarbon down here. Also, if you're going to fluorocarbon, it needs to be heavy enough because there's so much timber.